Good afternoon, guys. I got this the Harbor Freight special right here. Works pretty good. It's loud as hell. It moves a lot of air. Not as much as it sounds like it's moving though. Also got this today. It's gonna fix that one I told you guys, but that motor turned out to be a little bit higher. Let me turn this thing off right here. I don't know if I'm going to keep this or not. Those squirrel cage fans, the little tiny squirrel cage fans, are a lot quieter. That thing in there is noisy as heck. Anyway, back on the saw. That motor seemed to, I thought it was like 130 bucks, but it turned out it was more than that, and I don't know, I didn't, this just seemed like a better deal, and it's the same. It looks like the same exact saw. I mean, I've looked at the Grizzly saws, you know, this size saw, 4x6. Grizzly, the Dayton, and this one, they all look exactly the same. It's like they're casted in the same foundry or whatever. But this has got a 1-horse motor on it, and that's a 1/3 horse motor. So, we'll put it together. See what it looks like when we got spare parts, and if I don't give it to somebody, one of my buddies or something. I could have cobbled some kind of motor on here, but I don't want to mess with all that. Alright, well, I'll start putting this thing together and we'll see what we got. So it's inside the box. JP, it's my son. I'm gonna let him put it together. He's doing what he does best, eating. Anyway, guys, I will put this thing together, or he will, with my supervision. This fan does move some air. You just got to get away from it. It's on low right now. It's blowing all through there. It's just noisy. Anyway, we'll see if we can tackle this thing and see how it runs. Alright, guys, I got it together. Didn't really run into any problems, you know. I set all this up with a square. I set my blade, all that stuff up, got it square. Checked everything. The only thing I seen that you might want to watch putting it together is when you have to take these pulleys off to put this cover on. When you put it back on, just, you know, simple stuff, line the belt back up. But other than that, seems to be pretty good. Like I was saying before, man, it looks like it's the same as that saw. I mean, they probably copied the whole daggone thing, you know, China did, as, you know, one of the Daytons or something like that. I don't even know if Daytons are made in America. I couldn't tell you. I doubt it. Hell, what do we make anymore? Yeah. Chicago, USA. Eat my words. But yeah, they probably copied that. But that's a $600 saw, and this is a $250 saw. And we'll see how it cuts. I got an old piece of junk wrench. I don't know if you've ever had these wrenches, but they are useless. Except for testing bandsaws. We'll see how it does. We'll see. Turn this thing on. That blade ain't too good. See it jumping? That's alright, I can get a blade. You know, man, for $259, that's a pretty good little cut. A little warm. But you know, like I said before, Harbor Freight's getting better with their stuff, man. I mean, shit, their toolboxes nowadays, man. I've looked at, you know, I've had Snap-on boxes, Matco boxes, I've had all of them, Mac boxes. And I swear, them ones at Harbor Freight, I'm going to get me one to go in here, one of them big ones. Or as big as I can fit in here in my little shop. But anyway, they're heavy. If you look at the weight of them versus much other stuff, their toolboxes are pretty daggone good, man. But, like I said before, you know, that saw turned into a cluster. And I didn't really want to deal with it. And I want something where I can cut metal. Maybe I'll get on that stand next week I was saying about building for that thing. For my drill grinder and different pieces up here. I wanted to go ahead and get on that. And now I got some way to cut the metal. I got the metal dowel down there. It wasn't that hard to put together or anything. The little stand that comes with it, it kind of looked a little flimsy, but it's about 14 gauge steel. If you lay that thing on its side and, you know, hook it all up, by the time it gets bolted up to that cast, hell, it's stiff. Only thing I don't like is the cheesy little wheels, but that new shop fan I got, it's got some nice roller wheels with some rubber on them. I think I'll do a little swappy action, because that axle and that axle is the same thing. So I'll put the good wheels on here if they're the right size, you know, if they'll work. If not, I'll leave it like it is. Anyway, guys, I don't really have any complaints about this thing. I watched a lot of reviews before I bought it on YouTube, and there was a lot of complaints about it vibrating and stuff like that, and that these adjustments being all out of whack, you know, on the blade. But I checked it out and I set this up with a square, and oh, I got this little, look at this little level I got. This comes from Harbor Freight too. While I was there, I seen this, man, I couldn't pass it up. It's a little billet aluminum level. It's heavy. It's got graduated, I like this thing better than daggum saw. They got a little small one too. I think we'll go back and get it. It's got a little, I won't focus for us, but it's got a little ruler on that side. And metric on that side. And it seems to be pretty daggone flat, straight. Anyway, thought I'd show y'all that too. I love tools, man. If I see something in there and I think it's cool, I get it. You know, if I think it'll last, I mean, that's billet. You might, if you ever drop it, yeah, it's gonna break those plastic pieces, I'm sure, because it's so rigid. But for me, for marking stuff and kind of work that I do with it, it'll work good for me. But anyway, guys, y'all have a good weekend, and might have some video for this weekend. I don't know what we're gonna do yet. We'll come for us Jeeps, and I just thought I'd show y'all the little saw. $259 for that thing, and I had a 20% off coupon, so I think we got it for, heck, I think we paid a little over $200 for it. Hell, you can't beat that. The motor for that Dayton, from Dayton, was right at $300. I thought it was $180, but I was looking at the wrong motor. That's how it always goes. You know how that is. The only thing though is I haven't found out. See how this one's got a little oil hole? I haven't found in this one where to put oil in it at. You probably got to lay it down flat, put oil in it, put the cover back on. I don't know. I ain't even looked at it. I ain't looked at that part of it yet, but we will see how she does. Right now, I'm happy as heck with it. And we'll see how it goes. You know, we'll be cutting some metal with it. Alright guys, y'all have a good one, and I'll talk at you later. You got any questions on it, y'all ask me, I'll answer them.